Welcome back to Dicey Shores, where RPG dice determine my path to progressing through brighter shores. So we've recently hit level 100, which is awesome, and we do want to roll some more, but I thought it was probably a good idea. I'm just going to swing the skills over to here so that we can look at kind of the both of these at the same time. Here's the current state of the spreadsheet. So obviously we still need to spend our next KP in Fisher to unlock the what are they called? The common dabs. However, we cannot actually move on past that point because we don't have the forager level. I think you need 26 to get their bait. So, if we roll on Fisher, we would not be able to progress because we would have to first, after unlocking common dabs, catch one common dab, and then move on to our active training method of yellow pufferfish. And so we are actually soft locked out of Fisher at this stage. In addition to that, we're still soft locked out of alchemy, just due to the fact that we still have not unlocked wrinkled starfish, which I'm gonna double check that assertion. I've been skipping alchemy so long, it's one of those things that like I've actually forgotten exactly what the holdup is. Yeah, it is wrinkled starfish. Okay, cool. I am not just talking out of my butt. Great. So, that being said, that kind of leaves us, I've just like temporarily ticked these off here as a visual reminder for myself. That actually leaves us with 6 possible dice results. I'm going to avoid going back to like switching dice too much because that tends to confuse me for some reason. My silly little brain can't keep up. So we are going to stick with the D8, and we're just going to say that we re-roll 3s and we re-roll 5s for the time being. And without further ado, let's see what level 101 is going to end up being. Okay, a combat level. That's cool. We'll these do tend to take a bit of time, so we'll get ourselves locked in. I have found both of the locations for our trip to Wendy's. Boy, I hope they have a Baconator for me. But yeah, we will go see what their deal is. I've actually never fought these before. I'm imagining... Okay, yeah. So, vulnerable to Infernae, which is something that... I felt like we picked up an Infernae weapon of some sort. I'm going to... Well, first of all, immune to Cryonae. That is going to be a problem. I know we have a Cryonae sword. So, here's what we're going to do. We're first going to do our best in slot for Cryonae. Oh, cool. So we do have an Infernae one-handed. And we do have Infernae ranged. Okay, so maybe we are sound. Let's see. So it is a bit of a damage debuff, but we are going to need to actually hit these things. Oh no, it's mad at me. Okay. So now, hopefully, we can lock in a bit. Now that we've got our type advantages sorted. Yep, it looks like we're okay for our first kill here. Oh, well, I mean, it would be nice if I was using the one-handed sword that I just equipped. That was kind of the whole point of me doing it. It feels slower? Okay, well, we survived. Can't argue with those results. And yeah, so this seems like one that I'm going to have to kind of be a little bit more careful with compared to some of the other ones. Just for some reason, is there any indication of like how slow a weapon is? Am I just like totally making this up and that this is a normal weapon attack speed? I feel like I'm so used to like my rapier being like really quick, but I don't know. Ooh, frozen hair. Again, something I've like literally never seen before. I've never killed these guys. Okay, sick. Right, I am going to lock in on this for a bit, and I will check back with anything interesting that might happen. I think I'm going to swap between one-handed and two-handed and just kind of see generally what I have more success with. Because although the extra defense on the shield is preferable, this feels really close for comfort. Don't know. Maybe that'll improve as we get better armor. Unfortunately, not better cryo resistance on anything we've picked up yet, but we shall see. Hey, Rad, we actually did get a little bit of an armor upgrade here, and I think, is that our last? Now, that might be our last, other than the shield here. Oh, no, we still do have guard leggings. That's fine. I don't know why I'm so obsessed to put the guard lifestyle behind me. You know, I was just saying not too long ago that like guard armor transmogs would be nice. But no, I guess it's just like a way to visualize how the gear is progressing. You know, as you pick your class, the less guard armor you have, the more like class armor you have. So I will say I haven't died yet, but I have had a couple of close touches with death, and I just might get rid of it. No, not even close to getting rid of that shield. Never mind. I have had a couple of like close calls, and the one-handed and shield does seem to still be the prevailing theory, the prevailing attack style. There we go. Wow. So hopefully my my voice might give it away. It is like fully right in the morning. I just got up basically. I mean, I've been up for a bit, but I have not spoken to a soul, and so my voice is still very froggy. So hopefully that's not too hard to listen to. I was very keen to get back into this. But yeah, like big week. Ooh, this is looking like a reset. Yeah, I'm just gonna call it now. This is absolutely a reset. Big week for Brighter Shores. While there wasn't any updates, there was a live stream with Samuel, Paul, and then later Paul dipped out and Andrew came on. And it was super cool. Like, not to get parasocial with this, but like as soon as Andrew walked in, I was like, oh my god, like that's the guy. His name's on the game. And like Paul and Andrew just like, I mean, I feel like a lot of us feel very nostalgic for the joy that they have brought us in our childhoods. A fair bit of Brighter Shores players haven't played RuneScape, but a fair bit have. And I, just based on who I've talked to, and it was just like, as soon as he came out, like, I'm not gonna lie, I got a little emotional. I was like, oh man, like this is the guy. Like, it was just so exciting to like listen to him like kind of talk about how the game's progressing and his vision for it, and just like thanking folks for like trusting in his vision and etc. And like hearing Paul talk about world building like is so cool, because I, like, as one of my hobbies as well, like I really like to write and like world build for both kind of like my D&D campaigns that I plan out, and also just kind of for my own like creativity, I guess. Like, I think I've talked about this, but like I'm happiest when I am creating something. It doesn't have to be like a masterpiece. It's kind of why these videos can be a bit low effort at times. I'm sure if I put my mind to it, I could make better assets. I could make like better thumbnails, but like ultimately I'm just happy I turned on the camera and I just started to go. And yeah, like I know I said that like at the beginning of the series for sure. But yeah, it's just, I don't know. And like making steady improvement. That's not to say I won't make steady improvements as I go. Because I don't want this to just be version 1 forever of this series. But yeah, that is all to say that, like, you know, world building and creative writing are a passion of mine. And so, like, getting to hear Paul talk about it was very cool for me. And this is close. There we go. Nice. Wasn't even scared. But yeah, so like Andrew talked about the like potential for trading, because obviously he's working on that right now. Oop, I'm not on one-handed. And I know there's a bit of contention in the community about some of the early plans that he has for it and mechanics. Like, I think it is very important, some of the things that he's doing, to not devalue certain quest rewards or just like doing quests. He was talking about not being able to buy the craftable materials for like Lost and Found, which requires you to do a lot of like the passive crafting. And he didn't want to totally devalue that. He didn't want to totally devalue infusion, and so there was talk of not trading epics. And I know that like different people with different history with MMOs who are probably a bit more informed than me have different opinions about that. And there's a lot of people that hate the untradeable boss drops, that hate the fact that we can't trade epics or might not be able to trade epics. Again, nothing is set in stone totally. But me personally, I do see the vision for not wanting to devalue other content. Like, I don't know. I think at the very least, boss drops being untradeable is not as detrimental as some people say. And again, that might be naive. Just because I don't have the experience that other people do. Oh, actually, wow. I was totally on autopilot about to grab cash. That's dabs unlocked. That is dabs unlocked for when we can eventually fish them for that one passive dab requirement. But yeah, like bosses drops being untradeable incentivizes you to go kill the bosses. And I know that there's somebody who is more versed in MMO economy, is more versed in I don't know, like the theory of how these games are built and like what sustains them, who can probably tell me reasons why that's a bad thing. For me, I know that not everybody wants to do bossing, but if you don't engage with content, you don't get the rewards from it, the same way that I won't get a 500 cape for a skill I don't 500. Like, I don't know, it's an achievement in its own right. Like, and again, maybe there's a difference there. Boss drops are RNG versus a 500 cape being guaranteed. Like, I don't know. I don't see the big deal with that one, other than people not wanting to grind out a boss. Again, coming from a very naive place here, very willing and capable of changing my mind on that, because my experience is my experience, and I can only speak for how that makes me feel. But yeah, like, it's either way, the way that trading is going to work is interesting. Backpack to backpack, you just need to be a member of the merchant guild. I think all of it you have to be a member of the merchant guild, and that seems like it's an anti-bot thing, which is once you hit episode 4 you can join it. And then he had said that, like, no, you absolutely don't need to hang on to premium membership after that point. If you just wanted to go back to free membership, you can still trade backpack to backpack. The only like benefit that you lose outside of access to those other 2 episodes currently is the player market in Kren is going to offer like bank-to-bank trading. So like trading in bulk, which is really cool. I actually need to, oh, you know what? No, I can quartermaster some of this stuff. I was going to say, I need to like dip out, but no, I don't. Not yet. Not quite yet. So that's interesting. All of the thought going into balancing the current content, like it's almost like again, not devaluing doing the quests, because the quests are important, and part of the game, you know. So it is very interesting how much thought is going into this, and I'm excited to see work continue on it. Outside of that, it was, it confirmed pretty much that like the game's not really getting advertised until early access is done, because Andrew doesn't want to advertise an unfinished game, and he knows it's unfinished, and he's like fully down with just like, obviously he'd like to get out of early access by the sounds of it this year or next year, but ultimately it's going to take as long as it's going to take, and I totally sympathize with him on being bad with timelines, because so am I, and part of my job is literally estimating how much time something's going to take me, and it's actually the hardest part of my job. So I too am a can't keep my promises girly, so I Mr. Gower, I get it, brother. But yeah, the other like really exciting thing that happened this week was that Valerie got so she's been making the video versions of the weekly leak, like the video breakdowns, and last week I think I mentioned this in a recording, like Samuel outright like tweeted out her video and was like, or like shouted her out when the weekly leak dropped, and it was like, if you want a video version, like Val makes these great videos. Well, now she is officially like in an official capacity working with Fen to like drop the video and the weekly leak at the same time, like actual partnership, and that's so rad for her, for the community. It's just like I had talked about this a couple episodes ago, I think, but I was saying how it feels like while the quantity of player base might be gone, the quality of the community that we do have and the interactions, and I just died because I'm not paying attention, but that's all right. Like that is definitely blossoming, and like this is exactly what I'm talking about, where like Fen is outright interacting with us, outright partnering with content creators, and hopefully this is the first of many cool opportunities for people in the content space, where like your investment in the game and your shared love of the vision of this game will net an opportunity, and further strengthen like kind of the community aspect of this game. And I'm sure Samuel, being the community manager, will obviously build a statue to Roland Dice in some sort of gambling hall. Obviously, I'm like totally kidding. I'm barely at any level where that is where any shout out is worth it. But either way, I mean, super rad to see that. Really happy for Valerie, and honestly also really happy to be a part of the Blades of Adothria community as well. Like, I have gotten a little bit more brave. I have actively like hung out in voice chat now, because I've lurked there for ages, just because I love the vibe, and now it's just like, it's, I don't know, it's one of, if not the oldest clan of the game, and also I feel like it's got to be the biggest at this point, at the very least the most active. And it's, I mean, they outright made it into a video because of mine, because they were doing a community event at the time that I happened to be recording. Like, it's, yeah, I don't know. Like, I'm just super stoked to be a part of this community. And that's kind of my ramble while fighting forest things. That's pretty much the end of my train of thought there, I think. But yeah, like, really super cool couple of days. Oh, and a rare. And naturally, while it's better, or I'm sorry, an uncommon, the gear colors still trip me up. While it is naturally a slightly better shield in certain regards, not for the monster we're fighting. So, unfortunate, but we move on. But yeah, I will pretty swiftly be at 27 by the looks of it. How long did I talk for that I like talked through almost the entirety of this level? Oh man. I should take a sip, and I should also watch my health. Oh, we're good. We're fine. Everything's fine. Ooh, okay. Oh, and it's typeless. Huge. Oh, it's a two-handed. I saw longsword, and for some reason I thought it was one-handed. Oh well. You know what? Still pretty cool. Still an upgrade. I was hoping for a new one. But yeah, we have one more of these Wendy's nuts. Am I right? I'm so sorry. We have one more of them before we hit level 27, and we can move on to our next roll. So here it is. Whoa! Level 27. Imagine that. Didn't see it coming. And another throwing ring. Still not an upgrade. But yeah, decent source of gear and also fair bit of monster parts as well. So that'll be good for an alchemy level at some point. I am going to, because I just remembered, we did spend the KP on Fisher, so we're good there. And then we got 27, so we're good there. And now, without further ado, we can get back to rolling. It feels weird that after so many... Whoa, my... Be right back. Okay, I found my die. What I was saying was, it feels very weird that after so many levels, or videos where it felt like pretty quick progress has been made, we've spent most of the video at one level just because I was talking so much. But that being said, we can shut the heck up and roll for 6. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Gatherer. So we are staying right here in Hope Forest, and we are going to be gathering more dandelions. Sweet. Another quick level with our hog friends. Maybe we'll see the bunnies. Oh, we do have to go see the bunnies in the mushroom glade. Hell yeah. I don't remember if I said this, but I've noticed there's like these clouds of green butterflies. There's blue ones flying around. I know I've seen red ones. Could be cool if there was a way to interact with them in the future. Hunter confirmed for Brighter Shores? Probably not. I don't know what this bit is. I'm just gonna pick dandelions and think about what I've done, making like cringy jokes and referencing RuneScape for the 800th time. I have... Oh, yeah. Okay, no, I have not. Yeah, we are good. I was gonna say, I have screwed this up, but no. We are now at... Oh, and we need a hand rake. Good thing we got the dosh. So we can now gather crooked goat horns. I actually don't know where to buy the hand rake. I'm realizing is that... I forget if there's a Timberwell supply. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. I was gonna say I forget. I couldn't remember if there was a place here. 'Cause my initial reaction is, oh, the forager shop, and it's like, well, no, this is a different skill, my dude. So that's cool. Right. Let's get another roll in the chamber. Okay, a 4. That is chef, squarely between our two skills that are currently soft locked. So we're gonna head back to Hopeport for more bacon sandwiches. Before we do that, we are going to check the bounty board and see if we can get another cheeky little bounty completed. Okay, so this is a bit of sad times. Currently as it stands, no bounties for our current objective. That being said, so I'm of two minds on how to do this, which I feel like I say often, but one of the comments that I got, I'm just pulling it up now. Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense. So, EB Rules says, later on after level 20, once bounties are less massive, I think you should roll on bounties once per level period, because it'll be fun to have to grab some potatoes because you've out-leveled potatoes. Just enough to complete the bounty. Just to give you some, sometimes having to make very mini old grinds, which will help break up the grind a little. That's not a bad idea. Before level 20, I think the way you're doing it is good, since single bounties are massive before 20. Yeah, that is definitely a good thought. I still, I mean, at least I have some time to think about it. At this stage, we were not successful, so we'll level chef as is. But that is a good point, because like later, and I think I've mentioned this, later when you hit some of those those XP experience walls, where like suddenly the requirement jumps up massively, it does feel less broken. Oh no, I don't have enough space. I might have to go clear out my quartermaster. I have been putting this off, to be fair. It does feel like less massive of a jump to do a single bounty, as they said. Again, I'm like not sure about going back to old grinds. I think maybe grabbing future ones. I'm not sure. Is the short answer at the minute. I'm not sure how I want to handle it. Wow, I have a lot of like level 20 something gear currently. That's weird. Have all of my gear drops happened like recently? Anyway, I'm gonna go off screen. I'm gonna sort of cycle through auto armor, try to figure out what my best in slots are, and then clean this up a little bit. Okay, that is much better, and we are nearly 200 silver after that one. Yeah, I just sort of like cycled through everything and made sure that I had the best in slot for every damage resist. I'm keeping like one of each type of weapon currently, as I continue to collect more. Sometimes I feel like raw damage is probably going to just be the way, no matter what. But it, you know, type resists and everything do matter to an extent. Just maybe not as heavily at low level. Well, I don't know. Maybe even more so at low level, because I'm a lot squishier. But yeah, let's. But yeah, we checked this, right? We did check the bounties. I think they were all 4 of them, or yeah, not currently our level, so we are going to pass up on those. Although due to the time gated nature, no, this feels like, I was gonna say it feels like wrong to bank. Oh, I can't, because I can't even get a bounty for a higher level. I feel like I learned that. I feel like I'm relearning that. Ignore me. Okay, so we need 2866 for the next level, which means, according to my calculations, we need 31 total bacon sandwiches, which just so happens to be a full inventory plus what's in our bank. So that worked out very nicely. So we will grab a full invent of the appetizing bacon and a full invent of the bread, and we will get to cooking. Another KP means another money, because we are currently all caught up on these. The next one coming up, though, is going to be Forager, which is going to be really nice. Although, wait, hold up. Oh, yeah. The next one coming up is going to be Forager. So that's going to be lovely. Oh, does that make sense? Oh, yeah, because I can't even train fishing. I was going to say, I was like, wait, no, fishing's pretty close as well. But no, I literally cannot even train that. So I am fully just making things up. Eating hot chip, telling fib. All right, and 16 more experience to go, and that is level 14, which gets us the chicken and leek pie. So, the weekly leek just got a little bit more delicious for us. Oh, that's interesting. Actually, that brings up a good point. So this is 8 forager. Oh no, or I'm sorry, gatherer. So we're we're actually soft locked out of cooking now as well. So our results table is down to 1 hope port skill and all 3 forest and global. That's interesting. So I didn't even anticipate that to be, I know me, no foresight from me, shocking. But that's actually really cool. So this sort of forces us to grind Hope Forest, actually, in a way. So I guess we're just going to remove results 3, 4, and 5 from our rolls now. And maybe I do go back to the D6. No, you know what? We'll just stick with the D8. We'll re-roll. It doesn't take us that long to sort it out. But wow, that was unforeseen. I'll be 100% honest with that. I did not even catch that. So I'm just gonna leave myself a little thingy here. You know what? This gives me an idea. It's gonna be on the fly because it's all gonna depend on what these levels are. I'm not gonna go so far as to code in every single potentiality. Like, oh, if I'm not this level by this level, mark this in red or whatever. But this actually might be a nice visual representation rather than these little X's of like, oh, okay, like until this level hits a certain point, this grays out. Yeah, you know what? I think I'm gonna do that in between recordings here. I think that'll be a little bit more helpful because I do like to take us through the sheet anyway at the end of the episode. So, but that being said, that is chef done, which puts us at 103 total. Our knowledge points are all caught up in the skills that we currently need to spend them in. But yeah, this it seems like we're probably going to be favoring Hope Forest and of course combat in the near future. But like likelihood wise, we are. I think that's. Oh no! Stupid man tries to do math. That's nearly 50% of the dice results are not Hope Port. Or no, 50%. They've always been that way. Are Hope Forest. Nearly 50% of our dice results are Hope Forest. If I actually could bother to do the math, I would. It's 3 out of 8. Although without 2 of them, it's 3 out of 6. No, it's. Oh my god, it's so hard to be this stupid. Jesus, no, it is a majority of them because it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is embarrassing. I should just cut here, but I haven't done my sign off yet. So I'm going to sign off before I continue making a fool of myself. I might make another cup of coffee. Sounds like I need it. And yeah, thank you so much for hanging out. And I'll catch you in the next one. And until then, have a good one.